Rebbe, my dad's first Fabringen. You were in my class?
No.
So how do you know who was in my class? You went away to France. Where'd you go, to France? You stayed in Shiur Aleph and left in Shiur Beis, right? Mati is older than you or younger than you?
He was like,
Mati was by us, right?
yep.
And then he left.
Yeah.
My life is about disappointments, you know that.
What, that they were by you? Or
But
that
they left. We never were able to build a yeshiva. So I built inside Hasidus. For that I don't need you. I just need the internet and wer es will kommt and hört. I was in Manchester last week. So I spoke for what it's called the Chabad Young Minyan. Most of them are not even Lubavitchers. They're all kids from homes that had their journey, you know.
Yeah.
So a guy comes over to me and says to me, my mother-in-law is a Litvak, Bas Litvak, and she sends me regards from your website all the time. Mamish. So Bamela, I do was gefahren in Paris, Ferguson today. Oi, aber es ist die gegessen in die Schame. The disappointment, not resentment. I'm resentful. I got over that. Anger is a waste of time. But achzava, disappointment, wow. You're laning in here.
David lanes every single morning. David's laning is equal to our Maimonides.
He was reading to Elad Dvarim, could be?
Preparing, yeah.
Elad Dvarim. Oh, so he lanes every day.
When he reads Elad Dvarim, it happens.
Moshe Rabbeinu was speaking.
That's 100% true.
That's you. David Shleimer. David Shleimer. Mr. van de Mashiach is Mizera David, you know that. In Pirush HaMishnah, the Ram writes Mizera David or Shleimer. And the whole world gets nervous. Why Shleimer? Why not David? David or Shleimer. Okay, mit machen a hefsek, my friend.
You tired?
I'm not tired, but mit machen a hefsek. The Rebbe, the Friedrich Rebbe has a maimer, Gefe mi Mitzrayim Tasiya. The previous Rebbe was arrested on the 15th day of Sivan, Tasvav Sivan. You understand the Hebrew dates, or do I have to translate? You understand? If I say it in Hebrew, you'll understand?
Yeah, right now I understand.
He was in jail for 18 days, from Tasvav Sivan till Gimel Tammuz. Gimel Tammuz, they let him leave. And the condition was that he could go home for, I think, 3 hours. Then he has to get himself on a train and travel to his place of exile. And he has to report the next morning, Monday morning. And then every day on Wednesday he has to report. So they wanted to leave on Friday. But if he would have left on Friday, he would have to travel on Shabbos, which Api Halacha he was for sure allowed to do, because it was Pekuach Nefesh Mamish, staying in the prison in the Shpadlerke prison for a minute was Pekuach Nefoshes. But he refused to travel on Shabbos and delayed it till Sunday, and he left on Sunday. While he was in jail, he actually wrote and said Chassidus. We have my mother from the Friedrich Rebbe Ben Ameitzai, which had, I think, a Shchedish Tammuz in prison. They have a maimer. From the time he came to Kastarma until he came home, he probably said and wrote in a week. From Gimel Tammuz till Tezvov or Tezayin Tammuz, 5 or 6 maimerim, a lot. And we have maimerim, they're published. And one of the maimerim is Gefen Mitzrayim Tasiya. There's 2 maimerim, Baruch HaGemel, there's a maimer. Sui Dechem Kedesh, there's a maimer. Hashem li be'ezei v'niyere b'saynoi. And there's probably one more. And there's also the maimer min ha'meitzar, but that's Bazunder. So the pasuk says Gefen Mitzrayim Tasiya. The pasuk in Tillim. So the Medrash translates Gefen Mitzrayim Tasiya. Gefen means a vine. From Mitzrayim, from Egypt, began its journey. So the Medrash says that when you plant grapes and you want them to produce good fruit, you crop them you move them to another place, and you replant them. And the nimshal is that the medrash gets interesting. You know, there's the grapes, and there's the leaves, and there's the branches, and the fruit is the Talmidei Chachamim, and the leaves are the Pashat people. The medrash goes into the particulars of which part of the vine is which kind of Jew. But the essence of it is that the success of the Jewish people is being replanted. You move to a new place, you start over. Yeah. See, he said this while he was still in jail. And there's a moment that he said by Rebbe's chasana, when Rebbe got married 2 years later, less than a year and a half later. So he said, Hashem did us a big favor that he scattered us all over the world. And the theme of that maimed, which he said by the Rebbe Sheva Brachas, is very consistent with this maimed Gefen Mitzrayim. You look at the Maimorim, you see that he wasn't just saying Chassidus, he was literally explaining what was happening. That we're going to move. We're going to move from one place to another place to a third place. We're going to replant and we're going to regrow, and it's going to be tastier, you know. And he talks about the challenges of that. He talks about the challenges of that. The Frierdiker Rebbe talks about the challenges. So he was still sitting in Shpaletika prison. He was still sitting in the Kastrama. And he was writing about basically his coming to America. You read the Maimed now, and you say, wait, when did he write this? He wrote this in America. No, he wrote this in exile in Russia. In other words, you see his vision. The Rebbe left the day after Simchas Torah. The day after Simchas Torah he left. On Simchas Torah he made an announcement, and he asked that they should tell to all the Chassidim in Russia. And it's printed in the Sichos. We have the original of it. He says, I'm leaving tomorrow. And people say I'm leaving because I'm afraid. People say I'm leaving because I'm being threatened. And people are leaving because of this, that, and the other. He says, in my life I have never feared anything, and I never run away from anybody. My leaving is, he used the lashon in Hebrew, Seder Mesuder Yeshkan. There's a master plan. He's leaving Russia. The Rebbe verstanden. The Rebbe understood that there's a direction.
This was in Rostov?
This was in Leningrad, Petersburg, Leningrad. He was in Rostov till Peidala. They forced him to move to Leningrad. He left Russia from Petersburg, from Leningrad. Sanaya Welt. You look at our world, yeah, we're good or bad, huh? What do you say, yeah? It's not pretty, but it's better. No, it used to be. If you were not 100% religious, you were a goy. Yeah, yeah. You were seen that way, and you saw yourself that way. This that ever broke. This that ever broke. In the whole Jewish world, not just in Lubavitch. And the result is that the kids who can't do it all, do what they can. It's part of this whole parsha. In the old country, if you're not in the straight and narrow, you were not inside, you were outside. And it's not pretty, it doesn't look nice. But it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's beautiful. The Yid who does one mitzvah, that's the biggest nest. Why? Why should he do it? If you do all of them, okay, this is my business. What should you do? Only one reason, because the Eibishter said. This the Rebbe broke through in the whole Frum world, the whole Jewish world. So you have so many people, hundreds of thousands of Jews, that are not as good as we'd like them to be. But in the old country, they were viewed like goyim, mamish. And they acted like goyim, and they hated you. This is a durchgebrochene Zach, no question. The Rebbe changed that. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, we all want our children to be tzaddikim, yeah. But you know what else we want? We want our children to be Jewish. Tomorrow there's going to be a levaya, Miss Tama. I'm imagining they take him to New York, no?
That's fine, yeah.
That's what they announced to the Rebbe.
Yeah.
If we was on the levaya, and the yeshiva was on the levaya.
Passing yeshiva, Torah, passing a few places.
Torah 8 is Rabbi Emmanuel Storper. That's my guy.
Yeah.
David, can you pass me this cup?
And are they going to have like some kind of an askar? Are they going to get together and sit and talk? Or? He was such a big chassid, Avraham Korf. He was a nice man, you couldn't be around him. He was a really nice guy, but you couldn't be around him. Why? Because his standard was so high, you were never good enough. He wasn't criticizing, he was just being himself, but you felt like such a shmata. He was a really nice person. People told me you couldn't work with him. Because his standard, what he demanded of himself. Why? What's wrong? Why shouldn't the world hear this? Bluffed off in head and emes tamin and zogin. I'll tell you a nice thing, Rabbi Menachem Mendel HaKohen. My Yubis Tammuz, Emmanuel brings me every year. He brings me. What's the name of the yeshiva? Torah. He's probably 6 years old now. He's bringing me Yubis Tammuz. Yeah. He's a man in the Talmud. One of the few who didn't abandon me.
Remember the first time he walked
from New Jersey to 770 on Pesach. On Pesach. Well, listen.
How far is the walk?
It's 16 miles, I think. He worked the whole night.
Yeah, exactly. The holy Jew.
Listen. So he brings me Yubis Tammuz. He knows that during the year I can't come, even though I travel all over the world. But Yubis Tammuz he brings me. And he always invited Rabbi Korf. And he used to sit next to Rabbi Korf and he would interrupt me. When he was healthier, I have a recording from a Fabrengen where I isolated all of his pieces. It's like an hour. I should really be mefarsim it now. So this been going, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. Every year, I always come Yubis Tammuz to Florida, and if I bring in yeshiva, this is the thing. This is you're piggybacking on Emmanuel's Fabrengen.
No, we're not.
My point is, he called you at the Yeruf.
We're the pioneers.
You're the pioneers. Of course, you're the pioneers. But Rabbi Korf used to sit next to me.
He was a holy Jew.
Sitting next to him was not comfortable. It wasn't Yishbak. Why? Who am I to open my mouth in his presence? So whenever he would interrupt me, I'd stop talking, and he would talk. When he finished, I would keep talking. The Fabrengen is gewaldig. So the story that I wanted to tell you, the Lashon Hara, is that he came to Florida in 1961, I think. It was a midbar, mamish a midbar. And one of the many things he did was he got involved in kashrus, in echsherim. Because there was much no kashrut, he was involved in kashrus. And there was another rabbi here in Florida who was making a career out of it. Rabbi Korf was not interested in kashrus, he was interested in yidden. If yidden need kashrus, it's kashrus. Yidden, whatever you need to do, this is what he was, a shliach. So one of the competitors was not happy that Rabbi Korf was involved in kashrus. So he wanted to push him out of the business. So he came to the Rebbe and he told the Rebbe that Rabbi Korf is getting involved in kashrus and he doesn't know what he's doing. And Bechlal, he's not religious enough for kashrus. So the Rebbe says to him, Advi ich kenem is a re'erei shamayim betachlis.
Wow.
Advi, you're telling me he shouldn't be involved in kashrus, religious enough the way I know him? He's God-fearing to the edge. Bisn the good. Advi ich kenem, like you're going to sell me a bill of goods. Avraham, of course, one of my guys. Advi ich kenem. The Rebbe, somebody was laughing recently about how the Rebbe chose shluchim, In some places, the Rebbe sent the perfect shliach to the perfect place. But sending Rebbe Korf to Florida, it's like sending you to the moon.
Someone posted a story. He was one of the last people that Rebbe was Masad Kedushin.
Right, Chavalov, yeah.
And when the Rebbe came out, someone else wanted the Rebbe to do Masad Kedushin. It says, you're Masad Kedushin by Korf. The Rebbe said, Edlach my shliach. He's my shliach. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Or he's on my shliach, something like that.
He told us, but one of the Fabrengens, he got married, he was an El to the Bachet, he was not young. And Rabbi Chol Tarabam wanted him to teach an Old Torah. He refused to teach an Old Torah. Why? Because he knew that if you already have a job, the Rebbe is not going to send you on a shlichus, and he wanted to go on shlichus. So Rabbi Chadakov called him in and said to him, why do you want to teach an Old Torah? So he said, because I want to go on shlichus. So Rabbi Chadakov told him, this is the beginning of your shlichus. Old Torah is the beginning of your shlichus. He says that I knew shlichus means one thing, 24 hours. 24 hours. He said, Old Torah never had a malamed like me. If being a Malav there was a shlichus, he did it biz mitzvah nefesh. That's what he told us. But he was a nice man who hurt people by walking into the room because he was so real. People told me they loved him, they couldn't work for him. Farvos said gebrennt fire. Yep. One of the Rebbe's generals. He didn't speak a word of English. Nicht kein Wort English. So we were joking, we were sitting around someplace, I forgot where we were, talking about how the Rebbe chose shluchim. Sometimes it makes so much sense, sometimes it doesn't make any sense at all. How the Rebbe choose people who want shlichus. If the Rebbe had it his way, every shliach would be like Rabbi Korf. Yiddish Shamayim Bizn Ktsei. If we were chassidim like Rabbi Korf Zachazid, but anders is gesagt. You know it and I know it. Wir wissen das alle.